When you, hear me carefully, when you're born into a kingdom. You have no choice. There is no neutral ground. There's no Switzerland where we're neutral. No, there is no place in creation where you are neutral. When you're born, you're either born in the kingdom of darkness or you are from the kingdom of light. The light bearer became the bearer of darkness when he turned against God. Now, God had to let everything play out. You see, God could have stopped Adam and Eve from sinning, but he had to let it play out. He had to allow them to exercise their will. So when the choice came whether to side with God and not eat of the tree or side with their flesh and the serpent, the mini dragon, to side with the dragon or to side with God, they chose to side with the dragon or the serpent because it represented freedom from the rule of God. Freedom from the rule of God. And so the moment, as I shared with you last week, the moment when they ate of the fruit, they lost the light. And they saw that they were naked, which means Adam and Eve were light bearers in the earth. The Shekinah glory of God rested upon them. The precious glory of God. It is called the Shekinah. It's a holy light. It's a holy glory. And it rested upon them. But when they sinned, the light left and darkness fell upon them. And when darkness fell upon them, their eyes became open to dark things. If you read the Bible in Genesis 3, the second chapter, after they married, the Bible says they were naked but not ashamed. When sin comes in, shame comes. Guilt comes. They were naked. It wasn't hidden. They were naked but not ashamed. But when the glory left, that which was beautiful became ugly. And it was a shame of it. The light bearers allowed the light of God, the glory of God, to cease to shine. So God said, I am going to send the light back to the earth. I'm going to restore the light back to humanity. I have to, because God does not deal with darkness. You got to hear this. When you're in sin, you're in darkness, and God said there is no fellowship between God and darkness. So God says, I got to make you light, but I can't make you light if you ain't right. And so if you ain't right, you are dark. If you're dark, you're an enemy of mine, because there's no variance. There's no degrees of darkness. I'm all light. And he says, I want you to be all light, and you can't do it on your own. So I'm going to send in my son. And John tells us in the first chapter of John that he was the light. He was the light of humanity. He was the light of mankind. God sent him, the Word who became flesh, and that Word who became flesh was also the light, the life of men, the life of men, the light which gave life, rebirth, reborn, life to mankind. So, the birth of Jesus was a gift to you, but a declaration of war to the devil. When you're celebrating Christmas, you're celebrating the declaration of war, the declarations of independence. That's our real 4th of July, if you will.